didn't tell nobody that, but that's what I did. Right. Because know why she went to the website. And she, I know, I know. That's why I'm telling you that what I did was I couldn't get the sound to work on both of them together, so I opted to make sure that the sound was working on the YouTube channel, so that we could always go to it and hear it, even if we're not, because nobody knows that it's live. I'm gonna have Stu put the YouTube feed on the website, so when you come there, to be there. And then the regular thing is just play the music. We ain't got to screw around with that. Oh, just so you know. That's why you couldn't hear it. You got to go to the YouTube channel. So go to YouTube and type in Live at Grant, and then you'll see it. Yeah, and then you'll be able to see. There's the picture right there. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. This is live on Sundays. LOS, live on Sunday at the Grant Houses. This is GHCR.NYC, and we're live. If you want to get the live feed, we're on our YouTube channel. You just go to YouTube and type in Live at Grant. Live at Grant, and or just go type in B1 Harlem for now, and you'll see this feed that says, you go to YouTube, type in B1 Harlem, and then you'll see Jerron sitting at the desk, pointing all around at all the cameras. No, I got the different ones now, Jerron. Okay. I'm doing some different things so that we could switch around. Those are so those of you who tune into our website, you'll see us in here and you'll see us talking, but you won't hear us. If you want to hear us and hear what we're saying and hear all the mean shit we're talking about, then you need to go to our YouTube channel, our YouTube live feed. And if you miss it in the YouTube channel, just type in Live at Grant or type in B1 Harlem, and then you'll see Live at Grant. And we'll move it over to Streaming University next week because now I kind of figured out how to do it. Give me a test right there, J-Ron.
1, 2, microphone check.
Rick, you getting in today, Rick, or you just sitting over there chilling? I just say go to YouTube. Go to YouTube. Type in B1 Harlem. And then type Live at Grant. Do that. B1 Harlem, just for today. B1, yes. Just for today if you want to find it. But see, Jerron, you see you there. You see YouTube, right? That's you. You're there.
I've been watching it.
I know, but I mean, we got to help him get there. Okay. But that's why I said, hey, Rick, that's why I told you next week we're going to have Stu have the live YouTube feed on the radio webpage, so you don't have to look for it. You ain't got to YouTube and do nothing. As soon as you come to the regular website, it'll be there. Okay, Rick? You got to go to YouTube, type in B1 Harlem, and then you'll see live, B1 Harlem, and then you'll see the live feed, and you'll see Jerron, and you'll see the big screen back there. You'll see the clock on there, and I got on there now, Brother Leroy. So we're taking that off. Let me change that title from on air now. The communicators. We got to change that because this ain't the communicators. This is the Joe Ron Show with starring Joe Ron. Okay, let's take that out. Okay, let's just take all that out right here. Boom. Okay, Joe Ron today. So what's the name of your show, Joe Ron?
Good Afternoons.
Oh, Good Afternoons. I keep thinking that. I was calling it Good Afternoons. Good Afternoons.
I know, because it's catchy like that.
It is catchy. Okay. Spell it Joe,
J-O-R-O-N.
R-O-N.
And you can put Mighty and put Mighty and or put Mighty Mouse or Mighty in parentheses.
Afternoons. With the big man. Turn that down, man. Who's got that playing? That's you, Rick? Yeah. Turn it down, man. We can hear it.
And before when you put Jerron, put in parentheses Mighty. That's the nickname I go by.
Where's that at? Where we putting up what? What are you talking about?
I see you putting the letters down.
Yeah, I put the letters down.
You put Jerron.
I did put Jerron down, did I? I don't know how to spell Mighty Mouse.
I had to help you out.
I see Mighty. I need a crayon. I need like a little crayon. Okay, Rick, you got us? Rick, can you hear us, Rick? Rick, can you hear us?
I can hear you. Yeah.
All right, man. Put the mic. You might have something to contribute, man. You know you're a world-renowned player, baby. Okay, Jerron. So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, this, of course, is GHCR.NYC 95.9 FM on your radio dial here at Grand Houses and at GHCR.NYC on the web. And for those of you who want to see us live and hear us, they can go to our YouTube channel. For this weekend only, just type in B1 Harlem and then live at Grant. And then you'll see Rick Young sign. So, let's switch the camera over to Rick Young. Hold on. Because he's not going to be happy unless the camera's on him. So let's turn that thing. There you go. Now we got the camera on Rick Young, and all's right in the world. We just waiting for there it is. Oh, what happened? How to get you again? Oh, sweat. Oh, there it is. There you go, man. Boom. Now we got Rick Young. So when you talk, Rick, we switch the camera to you.
Okay.
And then when Gerard talk, we switch it back over to him. Bang. I'm just saying, this is how we playing right there. See, it's on this screen. So it's going to take a minute to get over there because, we working. That's on the time delay. That's a little time machine right there. Oh, you moving over so you can see yourself, man? So go to that chair over there. Get off that mic. Get on the new mic. Get on another chair. Since we're doing that. All right, Jerron, come on, man. Let's get started because, we got Rick, Motivational Young in the house. And this is the Jerron Show with Beyond the News, you said, Jerron?
Good afternoon.
Good after news. Not good afternoon, good afternoon. That's the snippy title. All right, come on, hit us with some, let's get it started. Let's get the shit started.
So, this is the best kept secret in Harlem.
Uh-oh.
And I have a theme music, but we still working on this stuff. We're still working on the kinks out.
I mean, let's give it your first subject. Come on, man.
All right, let me.
Me and Rick been here all day. We ready for combat.
All right.
Right, Rick?
I got you.
We ready for some combat, man. We heard you was gonna come in there with some mental linguistics, man.
Who told you that?
I don't know. I made that shit up. Ain't nobody told us shit.
All right, my theme music.
Come on, man.
I mean, it started. It's the show. We
can't have. We got to have good theme music. Rick can tell you that, man. You just can't come in there and play an ambient theme music. You got to give us some music so that we can play in the system so it sounds right, man.
I thought we was gonna use the internet.
No. We need it so that it goes here in the system so people can hear, so it sounds right. Like it comes through your headphones. You just playing the thing off your little transistor radio thing.
We gonna hook it up. We gonna hook it up. All right, cool.
Yeah.
So what I want to get into is
let's get with the subject, man.
Who in the heck is Gregory Russ? Now, it says new Natcher head Gregory Russ will be the city's highest paid official. He's coming from Cambridge,
Minnesota.
Yeah,
okay.
You know this thing.
Yeah, I do know, but I mean, so.
Oh, I mean, so.
I'm gonna go with a big. I want to go with a big so.
Okay. So what is he going to do to help Natcher?
We don't know. He ain't here to help nobody. Go on to the next subject.
So what is he here for?
Come on, keep it moving, man. Hey, Rick, we should have keep it moving or hit the brakes, man, like they do on TV. He's just another guy who's coming in here to do whatever, who God knows what. We don't know what he's going to do. How's he going to do anything? He's from Minnesota. He's coming here to show up here to do whatever. Let's see what he's going to do, man.
All right, cool.
Next subject.
Okay, next subject.
Yeah,
so I guess we're not going to really depend on nobody.
Nah.
So we're going to depend on ourselves.
This is what we're doing now. This is what we always do.
So we had a conversation about 2 weeks ago, Doug, when you and I was talking about what is the black community, our people, going to do with our money. So
hey Rick,
So now we're trying to figure out what we're going to do with our money. And all these other people we care less about, Gregory Russ and Donald Trump, all these white people who think they got power over us when we actually have the power. Now, this broadcast that I'm having right now, it's not scripted. I didn't write a whole week spinning on what I'm going to do right now. We straight off the top, straight freestyle. So I want to know, is it a good thing that we collectively do something with our money, or is it not a good thing?
When you say do something with money, are you one of those guys that say to use the talk about the black economic buying power and how we could do A, B, C, or D.
Exactly.
Okay, so the reason why I have a problem with that, not in general. I mean, not particularly, but the reason why, in practicality, I have a problem with that because when you have poor people, it's hard to get poor people to hold their money out to join some sort of economic bargaining power when people are so poor they can't afford to hold their money. You know what I mean? That's the problem. That's the only criticism I have. I think it'll work. The problem that I have is that you're asking people who don't have any money, who only have a very little bit of money or a small amount of money, to hold it and not do this, that, and it's very hard to do when you only have a little bit because you don't have enough to do all the things you're supposed to do or the things that you can do, and when you have a little bit of money, you usually have an agenda about the fact that you don't have enough money to do all the things you're supposed to do.
Okay.
So that's my only criticism about how hard that would be to implement that.
Well, on the contrary, I think I might butcher this right here. It's NIELSEN. A new NISELN report has confirmed what we've already known as black consumers. There is power in the black dollar, and it is making more and more headlines. Published early this month. This is going back February 2018. So imagine now, money didn't just diminish. So I could go with this report right here. And it's making more and more headlines. Published early this month, the black dollar matters. The sales impact of black consumers reports is the company's 8th report in black spending. The report focuses on black spending as a whole, our mainstream influence, and the impact of black Twitter and other social media. While blacks outspend on everything from water to cookware, our beauty buying habits continue to top the charts.
But you miss it. But how do you get? But if you're going to use the boycott thing, you have to convince them to not do that. That's the problem that I have. See, you're talking about what they spend money on. How you going to stop? How you going to convince everybody to not spend?
Before we even convince you not to spend, we have to know what are you spending money on and how much are you spending.
Oh, but that's a big so what? Because you're asking people not to spend. So what they're spending on don't mean nothing because you're really telling people don't spend on this because we got to put our power together, which makes a whole lot of sense. Okay. I'm agreeing with it. I'm not disagreeing with it. Okay. I'm saying, how the hell do you do that? How do you get the people who are on the bottom rung of the economic stature to tell them that don't buy that piece of hair, don't buy this because it's going to put you at a disadvantage? How do you convince people to do that?
So when they have these studies and they have these reports, the first thing is awareness, to let you know how much you're actually spending. So if I have a bank account and I don't check my bank account, I don't know what I'm spending.
You ain't got no, dig this, all I'm saying is when you're poor, you don't have excess money where you're spending money from your bank account and you don't know that you're spending it.
I want to know how.
You don't do that. I'm just saying you don't do that in practicality, Jerron. Right now, today, you're not going out there spending stuff and, I don't know how much money I got. You know how much money you got.
I mean,
I don't see. You ain't got no Cadillac outside.
Me as an individual, I'm aware.
Me too. But I'm in that same boat. I'm just saying, I'm not in that boat. But whenever I hear these particular studies and people make these arguments, I always this is one of the few times you get a chance to actually, clap back. I always go, okay, but how you gonna get poor people not to spend their little bit of dollars? And most of us is poor and been poor. We already know how hard it is to hold on to anything when you're poor. Because you always need everything. You don't have all the stuff you need. So you're going to, you need to spend $50 to get everything you need, and you only got 20, and you're going to go sit there in your house and go, I ain't going to buy nothing because I'm going to boycott. It's hard to do when you're poor.
What is your definition of poor?
Let's go.
My definition of poor, when you have, I just gave an example. You have $100 and you need to do $500 worth of stuff. That's poor. That's when you're poor.
Well, my definition.
That's when you're poor, Rick.
My definition of poor, Rick,
that's just my definition.
My definition of poor is lack of ownership. If you don't own anything, that makes you poor. I don't care how much money you have, what you spend your money on.
No, you're right. That's going to make you stay poor. That's what the hell that's going to do. You're going to stay poor if you don't have any assets. Exactly. And the reason why people have a better situation than black people is because people have assets. they have a home, they have some sort of asset that you have. We don't have that. And that's why I'm making the conversation that, okay, now you're talking to people who have no assets, and you're asking them to understand what the economic power is. They understand that they have no economic power. That's what most poor people understand, that I don't be got no economic power.
But they have something in their hand, though.
Oh, always.
Okay, let me finish this up so people can understand what's going on here. We spend nearly 9 times more than our non-black counterparts on ethnic hair and beauty products.
So you think people are going to stop doing that?
We're gonna have, I mean,
answer the question. You think people are going to stop doing that?
Yes.
I don't.
I
don't see women stop buying hair products. That's craziness. They're not going to do it.
Okay, we had this natural movement.
Okay, fine. Even when listen,
that's the start.
I'm from the natural hair era, even though I have no more hair. I'm from the natural hair era, and I think Rick is too. We both own them.
I got hair. It's all over the place.
No, I'm saying I think you're from the natural hair era too. I'm talking about. I remember back in the early '70s, everybody was wearing. They was all natural, but you still had to buy stuff for your hair. You still had to get, your Afro Sheen, all that other stuff that you needed to, to make your stuff go. So you still spent on your hair. All I'm saying is that you're asking. I keep going back to it. You're trying to get.
We have $473 million on hair care.
That's the aggregate.
How we poor?
That's the. What do you mean? How we poor?
We got not much money to spend on hair care. We ain't poor.
We are poor, man.
We poor minded, and we poor in what we choose.
I would agree with that too. I would agree with that.
Yeah,
too.
but we definitely have money because I'm just going to hair care. I want to go to luxury vehicles. I want to go to Michael Jordans and sneakers.
Okay, but here's what I would go with.
To keep us poor.
Here's what I would go with. I would not
Jay-Z cheap grape wine. P. Diddy cheap grape wine.
I would not look
rather.
I would not look at the foolish purchase items of poor people and try to rationalize what they should be doing with their money. I think it's very hard to tell somebody who has nothing what they should be doing with it, even if it's for their own good.
I know. That's
people ain't gonna. People just don't respond to that. This is how it is because they're poor. You have to figure. You got like the guy was on TV. He said that white people have their assets is 140. Each white person has an asset of $147,000. The assets of black people, $17,000. So this is what you're talking. You're talking to somebody who has who in this country, a family of black people, which is us. Our aggregate income, family wealth, is $17,000, and the aggregate wealth of white people is $172,000. So you're asking the $17,000, telling the $17,000 people, here's what you spend your little fucking $17,000 on, and I think you have a much easier explain to somebody who has a wealth of $172,000 how if he saved $30,000 or $40,000 every year, how it could benefit him. That makes sense. You can't say that to the person who's making 17, who has a wealth of 17. They're thinking like you said earlier that I got to go hurry up and spend it before the shit is no good, or they're realistically saying, I ain't going to never get nowhere because look who I'm going against. Look what I have. So how do you answer that? That's the question to me. How do you get them to see by doing that, they're going to increase their wealth? And I think that should be I think that's the harder question. How do you okay, we're spending this because you're making the argument about why we could without telling people this is what we could do. You know what I'm saying? You just go and say, look what we're throwing everything away. People are going to get defensive, I believe, when you do that. They're just going to get defensive. Oh, you talking about, or do like I'm saying, I ain't got no money. I don't even got all the money to do what I need. But if you could show them if you can show them that why they need to be doing it as opposed to saying, look at what we're doing wrong. Here's what happens if we save $10 a week or $20 or some shit like that. Here's how you could get somewhere. Or here how we pull together and go buy something. Here's what can happen. It can increase in value, blah, blah, blah. You got to show people tangible ways for them to take a risk. As opposed to saying, you know what, you're throwing your money away. And the poor person's going, I know that I'm poor, ain't I? Of course I'm throwing it because I ain't even got shit to throw away. So I'm just saying this would explain why people were buying sneakers and hair and all that shit, because I got to have something to enjoy. I remember my mother telling me when I was a kid, she used to go, Doug,
She called me. She didn't call me. She said, Douglas, the only thing that a poor person can enjoy is a good meal. That was her belief. She thought that, that was one of the few things in life that a poor person could really afford to do, was every now and then have herself a good meal. That's what I said. I said, dang. Is that all it is? A good meal? That's it?
Man.
That's the party?
If we only knew how much we were worth.
Well, I think people do know. That's I just told you. The median wealth of a black family is $17,000, Jerron. And so if you got a 17,000, this is a family of four. If you got $17,000, you ain't making no whole lot of big time decisions. A pair of sneakers is a major decision. That's all I'm saying. 17. That's like $17,000. That's like $150 a week or some shit. It's like no more. That's $150 a week, man. You ain't living off of that. That's all you worth.
I really strongly feel our people are just settling and don't want.
Well, you may be right about that.
I think we're just settling for the little small wage jobs and small opportunities, and we're not trying to establish or build or generate.
Well, they need to listen to Rick Show more. They need
wealth.
They need to watch Rick Show more because they're not. I don't think they even motivated, or a lot of them don't even think they could do it. They ain't motivated. And where are the winners? Where are the stories that you see people who win it so that you can be, emulating them and say, hey, this is great. Outside of sports figures. Where are they?
Different people are motivated in different areas.
I agree.
So
I agree. But I don't think you're going to be motivated by saying, you know what, you could be, instead of buying, spending your money over here, you should be spending your money on this. People don't like to be told what to do with their money.
Yeah, because even like on my business card, I put the savings plan in there for them to save $1,000 in a year, and a lot of people have trouble with that.
That is trouble. That's probably like $10 a week or some stuff like that. No. $20 a week?
No, it starts with $1.
No, I'm saying if you want to say $1,000 a year, that's like $10 a week, man.
But the way it's set
that's
up,
$20 a week. Excuse me, because 20 times 50.
You're building up.
I understand that's what you're doing incremental, but I'm just saying if you just told a person, look, see if you can save $20 a week, man, you have $1,000 at the end of the year. Can't do it. $20, 20 times 52. That's $1,040. Can't do it. People can't do it. They're not even trained to do it. None of us are trained to do it. None of us. We can't. We're not trained to do it. We're not trained to treat ourselves like we're a corporation or like we're money making in. We treat ourselves like we're employee. You take out my taxes and then give me the money back. When you could just file a 1099 and just pay just your fee. You let the government take all the money out and then hope that they give you money back. We all do it. And you have to. If you was a business person, you wouldn't do that. Business people don't do that. That's why they don't pay no taxes. Well, they don't pay no taxes, man.
What inspired me was Robert Kiyosaki from Rich Dad Poor Dad. And
you love him.
He
man.
broke it down.
You love him, man. You love him.
That's how I learned.
You always bring him up. He's your favorite.
People who
he's your favorite.
People who educate you.
Yeah, I got you. You ain't gotta say why, but he's your favorite because you bring him up a lot.
I can say that. I can say he was one of my favorites. One of my favorites because he specialized in playing Monopoly.
Oh, you say that's why he's your favorite?
Yeah.
I don't think he's Rick's favorite. I think other Rick's got a whole bunch of people's favorite. Because Kiyosaki's pretty good, but I don't think he would be somebody that would be in Rick's top 3.
No. Robert Kiyosaki is one of the people that.
Will he be in your top 3?
Yeah, he's
okay. I'm impressed. I'm impressed.
Now,
I stand corrected.
Now,
so you say he would be in your top 3?
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, what makes him important to me is because he had me understand the 4 quadrants of how you make your money in America. Mm-hmm. Now, the 2 best quadrants, or the ones that have less taxes being taken out, is being a business owner,
correct,
and being an investor.
Yep.
So if our people were more inclined to be investors or business owners, that's a quick answer.
But it's not quick
saving money.
But it's not quick to do.
Your money is being taken away.
But it's not quick to do. That's the problem. It's not quick to do because both of those scenarios says that you have to have capital. If you start in the business, you need to have capital, and if you're an investor, you need to have investment capital. Well, so you got to get it from somewhere.
Let me hear what.
One of the things I like about Robert Kiyosaki is that he teaches you have to increase your financial IQ. And I think that that's very, very important.
I would agree with that.
Yeah. Most people walking around with
they don't know shit. Right. They don't know shit.
Very low IQ.
Most of us don't know shit anyway. Most of us, because it takes you quite a while in life to actually figure out, what the hell it is what you even want.
What happened to our sound?
Yeah, it went out.
What sound?
Sound. The whole board is out.
Well, you kick the plug on the floor, bro. Come on, man. Come on, man. Is it back on now?
Yeah, we good.
So he kicked the plug, man. What kind of crap is that?
Well, now I know this.
Next question, man. Hey, Rick, next question. You have the plug. You turned it off. Turn it back on. That's what happened to it. He turned it off.
Yeah, one of the things that Robert did.
And that was only your headphones sound because I can still hear you.
Okay.
Yeah, one of the things that he did that was brilliant is he invented this game called Cash Flow. Cash Flow 101, and you play the game. It's like almost living life. You get a job, you get a salary, you go around the board, you get your check every time you pick up your check. And the whole thing is to get out of the rat race.
Yeah, you got to get out of that. That's why I like Monopoly better.
What's that?
Monopoly. I call it Monopoly.
Monopoly.
I call it Monopoly. I like Monopoly better because that's a game where that's really like capitalism. You play the game until everybody's broken.
Exactly. 4 houses in a hotel.
Which is actually, when you really think about it, that's one of the problems with our culture is that not our culture, our economy is that it's a winner economy. If you're not a winner, if you're a loser, you're fucked. And not only that, there's no seasons, there's no rounds, as Rick would call it. There's no rounds to the fight. It's endless rounds. How many rounds? Infinite. You keep fighting. No, and if you use the basketball analogy, there's no season. The people who win, they keep winning, and the people lose, they keep losing. So when you are telling our people that, okay, you need to have a business or you need to be a venture capitalist, they all understand that they're on the bottom of the totem pole, and the economics of the country is that they don't share the capital with anybody. And I always make the case that the people who should be sharing the capital is the city, because the city has a lot of money, and they don't do that. I think the city should be trying all kinds of stuff. That's the people's money. You should be trying all kinds of stuff, man. All kinds of new ideas. The city should be doing that because they don't have to have a return on investment because they're going to have new money every year from the revenue generating stuff. So they ain't got to win nothing.
So what are they doing with that money?
That's what people should be asking. That's my point. My point is that people should be looking at the easy money and be going, well, why are we not getting none of it? And doing some of the things that Joe Ron is talking about. Instead of looking at which he had a great idea. Instead of looking at how much money the hair can spend, why not look at how much money the city is spending and ask them, what the fuck y'all spending this shit on? What the fuck is all that for? Because we don't know what they spending it on, and they spending $92 billion every 12 months.
So here's
$92 billion.
So here's my question. The question is, how is anyone or how are you going to win a game and you don't even know the rules?
Not going to be able to do it. Sound like
that's good.
Not going to be able to. You're right. You're not going to be able to do it. Right.
Good.
You ain't going to be able to win. You ain't dig this. If that's the case, you might not even know you in the game.
Exactly.
And maybe that's what's happening to us.
No, that is the case.
We don't even know.
But actually, to be honest with you, I didn't really know about that until I heard it from you. I learned it from you. I didn't know. I know about city council. Anything.
Well, I learned it from Brother Leroy. Brother Leroy had the city controller, John Lou, and it's on YouTube. Anybody want to go to our YouTube channel if they think we lying and listen to John Lou and Brother Leroy's interview, and you'll be stunned at how much money the controller says that the city spends, not Rick or Joron or me. Not when we say they spend it. This is the controller of New York City. He was on the interview and he broke it all down. $92 billion, $17 billion on goods and services, $27 billion on the Board of Ed, $27 billion on the Board of Ed.
So how could I get some of that money, man?
That was my point. My point is that, wait a minute, that ain't their fucking money. That money belongs to everybody. And what the fuck are they doing with it? And how come we can't get none of it? Because some white guy says we can't get none of it, and why are we electing people who can't figure out how to help us get some of that fucking cash? Why are we electing them? Why are they getting our vote? You know what I mean? As opposed to, rightfully so, Jerron, talking about the little bit of money that we have and the stupid shit we doing with it. So don't give. That's what I was saying. I ain't even get to all that, but When you look at the bigger picture thing, you asking people who don't even know what game they in, but buying hair, and don't even know that there's a big game going on out here. We out here buying hair, bro.
So on the outside looking in, if I was not a melanated handsome man like I am, and I was from another descent, another race or whatever, I would look at
a modest melanated man.
I would look at black people as stupid.
Well, we are stupid. Not just black people. There's a lot of this in this culture. There are a lot of people that are stupid. All you gotta do is look at 45 and go, "Yep, we're pretty dumb."
So if we have a reputation,
Look at Rick's face. Rick's going, "Wow."
we have a reputation of already looking like we don't know what to do with money.
None of us. I would make the case nobody. White people too. There's white people who just as poor as us. Those are most of the people on welfare and food stamps are white people.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, they dumb too. So
Yeah,
just so you can throw them in there. They ain't gonna be mad
We
at
can throw
you.
them in there, but
yeah, they can be mad at
judging
you.
you based on face value, we're gonna look like, oh, we've been out picking cotton. You guys are black. You guys is poor. You don't know what to do with the money.
Nobody knows. This is why I make the case why they have these white guys, the domestic terrorism guys. They believe that if you listen to them talk, that Mexicans and other people don't look like them are coming and taking their jobs, the jobs that are not here, and that it's their fault. Not realizing that those Mexicans and blacks and all of us, we don't run nothing. We ain't taking nothing. We ain't taking nothing from nobody. We don't run shit. So, I think that we have to help everybody to be smarter. That's what I think.
Yeah, I totally agree. Or we look up to people who are already doing things that we would like to do,
That's good.
which is like this guy, Weather Channel CEO Byron Allen.
Oh, he's pretty smart.
Yes, and he said, I'm going to continue owning stuff. He had his own little entertainment studio, and he said, I'm going to own the Weather Channel.
Well, he's got more than he's got a pretty big portfolio of stuff.
So what I think happened to
He didn't
us?
start there.
No,
No, he didn't. No, he got 5 or 6. I think he got about 10 channels, man. He got a channel that's about cars, blah blah blah. You know, you go on his website, they got a lot of stuff going. He just brought he's in this other deal with Sinclair Communications. I think they brought all of these regional sports networks. He's in with them.
So that brings me to somebody or another topic, or same topic, but another genre, which is music and hip hop. So since the decline of hip hop from the early 2000s up until now, we don't have that conscientious platform we used to have when we can educate our own people through music like we once did. So what we do now is look up to people who were in the game when hip hop was still real. And I'm going right into Sean Carter. He is trying to.
Are you mad at him?
I'm just here. See, I'm like.
I know
I
they're
like,
talking about his NFL shit.
Of course,
so you're not happy about
bringing
that?
all this stuff up.
You're not happy about
business
that?
I'm more or less of a reporter type mind frame or investigative journalism mind frame where I'm really. I don't pick sides. I just hear arguments. Hear what our people is talking about.
So what is he doing wrong for those people who don't know?
Well, it appears that he's making Kaepernick's whole movement look like we're going to just brush it off our shoulders, and we're going.
What's he doing wrong, man?
He's talking to the guy who got rid of Kaepernick. I don't even know the
no,
guy's name.
that's the commissioner of the NFL. So what he did was he went and cut some kind of deal with the commissioner of the NFL to do his company Rock Nation to do some work. For the NFL, and he's got some blowback from other people who thinking
Everybody.
that a lot of people because he stepped in there trying to get a money making deal, and then he didn't try to look out for nobody else like Kaepernick or any of the other players.
Exactly. So if our people are looking up to Jay-Z and the P. Diddy's and the business moves they're making, that's why our money is not up right now.
Well, yeah, that ain't a business move. What he did was he was looking out for him.
Yeah. So our people is following people like Sean Carter and Sean Puffy Combs and thinking they could just do what they see.
So you saying maybe you shouldn't follow them on everything that they do? 'Cause,
No.
that's what you're saying.
But they role
Are
models.
you saying that?
I'm definitely saying that.
Okay, so say that.
Definitely saying
Say
that.
that. You ain't gotta say make somebody ask you why. Say that.
Yeah. Okay.
Say you said you're an investigative reporter. Then let's hear what your results are of your investigation.
Well, my
You
results.
know what I mean? What's
Yeah,
your result?
yeah, yeah.
You thinking he's a ding ding for doing that? You think he's wrong?
No, my results are people who not inclined to hear this kind of talk about athletes. You just want to hear, the latest hot music or the latest hot thing he's doing without breaking it down to having a full understanding. That's the culture that we're dependent on to take us forward. That's the youth. That's people younger than me, people in their 20s. So if they're not really getting in behind the understanding of Sean Carter, meaning he don't even have a high school education.
Well, that's why I was saying to you earlier about, maybe we should be trying to point out, and this is indifferent what Rick was saying, maybe we should be pointing out to people what the path is instead of hitting people with some of the dumb crap that we're doing, because there's plenty of dumb, stuff we're doing.
Let me just say,
Go ahead, Rick.
My uncle lives up in Colonial. It's called Rango now.
Rangel houses.
Rango, right?
Rango houses, yeah.
Right next to the Polo Ground.
Yeah, I know it is.
So my uncle, we got into the running, so we did this thing called the Save the Children run. I mean, maybe Jerron might even came up there and participated.
Wow.
Maybe.
Because a lot of people from my neighborhood came up there to run this race, and they had like a way you run around the complex.
Okay.
We had like a 1 mile run for children.
Wow.
One of the kids that was in the program was about this big, right?
4 feet.
His name was Jamal Mashburn.
4 feet.
Okay.
4 feet. He's pointing to Jamal Mashburn when Jamal Mashburn was 4 feet
Went
tall.
on to play NBA, first college basketball with Kentucky. Went on to
Cardinal
play,
Hayes.
Cardinal Hayes. Went on to play for the Dallas Mavericks, maybe a couple other teams.
Right.
When he retired from basketball, he made some very wise business moves and is very successful in business. Bought some franchises that has done very well.
What kind of franchises?
I'm not sure.
Food,
having to do with food,
okay.
Food franchises. Another guy, Junior Bridgman.
No, Lennox Terrace, by the way. His parents live in Lennox Terrace.
Who, Jamal Mashburn?
Yes.
Okay.
I grew up in Lennox Terrace as well.
Yeah. Junior Bridgman.
Oh, well,
another one that
he did.
Well
he did great
in business. So it can be done. It can be done.
Well, those are the exceptions, though, right?
They are.
So you have to be an exception to be successful in business. I would make the case. You have to have something. You can't just be, I'll just do this for a couple of hours and okay.
Well, like Robert
you have to
Kiyosaki, you have to improve your financial IQ.
Yeah. And you got to get it up to some sort of level, because the people to get into the marketplace and to be able to move around the marketplace, you got people who have all the things you don't have, resources, and they got education, and some of them have lots of long cash.
Right.
I think it's also the drive. If your drive,
well, you need that too.
Yeah, if your drive is not there to be in business and pull in long hours and minimum sleep that's required to learn how business is ran and start it up, or you're not willing to put your time without asking for money first, as far as maybe internships or me just shadow, sir, so I can learn how the business works. I'll do whatever you need for free, your garbage, your bathroom, just so I can understand. If you're not into it like that,
well, I don't know how to me, if you want to do a business, one thing you have to figure out is what is it that I'm doing? Right? What is the plan? What is it that I'm doing? What need does it solve? What need does it solve? And how can I demonstrate that to anyone who will give me any money that it can solve a need? And then you got to show people that it's scalable. And you got to show them that you can execute it. So you got to have a plan that answers those particular questions. Then you have to prove to people that you can execute it. And that's a long way from what we've been talking about here today. It's a long way from that.
One of the greatest entrepreneur groups is children, if they know how to do it. Okay. I mean, they start out with a paper route, or they start out with a limp, or they might start out with Scout cookies.
Mm-hmm.
So it's possible to learn and hold on to the lessons that they learn as young.
Mm-hmm.
They can be very successful as well. Also,
well, I had a newspaper route when I was like 14, and up in Riverdale in the Bronx, I used to go up there and deliver the New York Post door to door, and I would get my customers to pay me on Saturdays.
And how did you do?
I did okay, but it was a grind and it was a hustle, because I had to get up there, had to carry the papers up there, had to get them up there, and then you have to figure out how to collect all your money So it's kind of a real grind. But I also then I started selling candy and gum because the Subways used to have these candy machines and that you put a penny or a nickel in and get stuff out of it. So I found out there was a guy in one of my classes. His father used to fill those machines. I would buy the candy and the gum from him and sell it to people.
Right. See, that was enterprising.
Well, I grew up in a family where we was like POOOOOOOOR. We was poor. In fact, I don't even know we could afford an R. We was poor. and we used to have to go get the the welfare food they call it, and people used to go, I want to get the cheese. We would get the welfare food, and my mother would say, "Go get everything, get everything that was on the list." And you had to stand out. We used to go into the St. Nicholas projects to pick up the food, and you had to stand on the line to get the food. And I believe to this day, this is why they came up with food stamps. This was before food stamps.
Yeah,
they didn't have food stamps. Before they had food stamps, usually every month you would go into like a project, one of these housing projects, stand on line, and then you would go in like a basement like this, and you would go down the line, and they would give you the food, and they check it off your card. You had a little card. Check.
You got a shopping cart?
You had to have a shopping cart, and then you would go in there with the shop because they didn't have garbage bags then, the black garbage. They didn't have those back then. They hadn't invented those. And so you would go in there and get the shopping cart, and then you would get like the cheese, the milk, powdered milk, the butter, the oatmeal, the cans of Spam. Sometimes they had beef, and you had the Spam, rice. What else? Yeah, that kind of shit. And then flour. And then bring all that. We live on the 5th floor to get the shopping cart, bring it all the way back to the crib, and then hump the shopping cart all the way upstairs to the 5th floor. Every day. This is why when people every month, and this is why, when they had to go to the laundry. This is why when I started playing basketball, I found that I had superpowers from carrying the shopping cart up the stairs. I'm kidding.
Well, I know some people did not want to be caught on that line.
I was on that line. Hey, look, you didn't have no choice because your parents would say, "Go over there and get in line with that food," and we needed it. We ate that shit. We needed it, man. So it wasn't no hiding. None of that. No hiding on the line. We going over there getting that shit, man.
You mean to tell me you shopping John's Bargains?
Yes.
You shopping John's
No. We didn't go because John Bargains was a high class store for us, man. We didn't go there.
John Bargain.
John's Bargains was like that was a 99-cent store when there was no 99-cent store. It was John's Bargains store.
Don't get caught going
on 125th Street.
John's Bargains.
John Bargains store. Yeah, it was 125th Street, right off of Lenox Avenue. To go there to John. Everything was like 99 cents or $1. John's Bargains. There you going back.
Oh, man.
Yeah, because I remember even when there came time to get the sneakers, everybody used to wear those Converse that everybody wears today. Those were the big time. All the NBA guys wore those, and they was like $9 for a pair. And you would go to your mother and say, "I want to get a pair of those Converse," and she would go, "Yo, I'll kill you before I spend $9 for a pair." That was like spending $900 today. You know what I mean? Go up to your little 12-year-old kid, daughter or something, come to you, Jerome, say, "I need to pay $100 sneakers." You go, "I got to think about that." Well, that's what the $9 sneakers was back when I was a kid.
What was the option? Wearing cat heads?
No, you used to wear U.S. Kids or Skips. The $3.90 go to the $3.90 PF Flyers. They cost $3.99. And you would wear them out like in 2 weeks, and my mother never believed that. She thought it was going out and cutting them.
Man, when I got my first pair of Cons, man,
oh my God,
I used to walk. I used to
look
down at them.
Oh my goodness,
I was the happiest kid.
Oh my goodness, if your sneakers slip and slide, get the ones with the star on the side.
I think I got the white pair first, the white ones.
Oh my God,
with the star on the side.
Yeah, had the star on the side. If your sneakers slip and slide, get the ones with the star on the side.
Yeah,
you know
Chuck Taylor.
That Chuck Taylor. That was a rap. That was a rap back then.
Yeah.
Don't cook tonight, get Chicken Delight. Remember when they came out? You remember them?
No.
Chicken Delight was the precursor to Kentucky Fried Chicken. Had Chicken Delight there was like a big time chicken store. It was on 125th Street, Fifth Avenue.
It sounds to me, brother, like you should be writing a book. You got a lot of history from things that happened in the past that people just don't remember.
I don't know. I don't know about that.
That sounds like a book to me.
I didn't know that. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I just remember that was a lot of stuff that we had around here in Harlem.
You might have a couple of books in you. You got some basketball information.
Yeah. Observation.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. I couldn't. Some of those stories you can't repeat, but that's okay.
You got some criminal.
A lot of those stories I can't repeat. I went to one of my boys' funeral, and one of his kids was there, and she showed me a picture of me and this guy, and this is back in like 1970 or something. And I looked at her and I said, "This looked like a police surveillance photo because it looked like somebody took the picture in a drone." And we talking about this like the pictures from like 1970. And I kept going, "How did it look like a police surveillance picture?" Me and this particular guy. And his daughter, he died. He had the funeral, and his daughter said, "You going to speak at the funeral?" And I said, "I'm trying to think of something that I can actually say about him in the funeral." You know what I mean? So a story that I could actually tell.
Yeah.
That would be interesting, So it was pretty hard because I met him when he was in the 6th grade.
So there's a lot of stuff you just couldn't talk about.
Not the shit that me and him was doing.
Yeah, I had an uncle. I was asking him the same thing. I said, "Yo, you got to write it." He said, "No,
Tell me the stuff you can't talk about."
cannot talk about it."
I always say that that when you're in your 20s, and no disrespect to Joran, who might still be in his 20s.
No, I just look like that.
Okay. When I remember one time when we were up at the big station one Sunday, and this reminds me a lot of it. We started asking, okay, if you had to know what you know now, what age would you do over again, Rick? Know what you know now. Which age would you go again? 20s, 30s, or 40s? Let's make it easy for people.
I would do
Or 50s.
I would do the 20s.
Jerron?
I would do the teens.
I would not do my 20s. I would not do my teens. Not me.
What would you do over?
Well, first of all, I was in prison when I was a teenager. I, was in prison until I was in my 20s.
But no,
I was a goddamn fool when I was in my 20s. I mean, a real fool, not the fake kind.
Isn't this? If you couldn't go,
I had
back,
to do it. Yeah, I wouldn't take.
Based on what you know now, though, right?
Yeah, I wouldn't. I still wouldn't do it. I would take my 30s because when I turned 30, I actually started treating myself like a serious person.
Oh man,
because I'm 30,
I just say,
so if I knew what I knew now when I was 30, boy, I could get a lot of shit done.
I just say in your teens, that's like that's like the beginning of your whole life.
I was a total fool.
That's when you're on your own, independent.
Total fool. I would not want to be a teen or a 20 because I don't even. A lot of things that I did when I was in my 20s and my teens, I wouldn't mention if somebody pulled a gun on me. If somebody came with a gun and said, "Yo, tell me," I wouldn't want to talk about some of the shit that I did. It's so
I just wanted to be
not bad, but utterly stupid. You know what I mean? I don't mean nothing like criminal going killing people, nothing like that. But I was so fucking stupid, man, that it's hard to even bear how dumb I was, man. It's hard for me to even think about how dumb I was.
Well, scientifically, we're not fully developed until after 25. That's the frontal lobe.
Rick picked 20s, and I was wondering, if you picking that because of your athletic prowess when you were in your 20s?
Absolutely.
Okay. So now, if you would have asked me about my athletic prowess, which age would I want to go back to? I would be with Joran.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, like I was saying.
If you're talking about athletics, I wouldn't want to go back to when I was a teenager because then I would have skipped a couple of steps that I took and went straight to college. I probably could have. I thought one of my goals was to make All City, and I ain't gonna say I could have been All City, but I was. I want to play with a lot of the All City guys as later on. But one of my goals growing up was to be on, be on All City. Get into college. I never thought about getting in the NBA because the NBA wasn't paying like they do now. So, you know what I mean? I think the average salary back then when I got out of college was like $30,000 a year.
Wow.
Well, $30,000. No. $30,000 not nothing today, but back then $30,000 was a lot of money.
Yeah.
You could buy a brand new car. You could buy. Let's say I had a Ford Thunderbird in 1970, and I paid $4,000.
Yeah, how money's been inflated over
$4,000, Rick, with sunroof and everything. $4,000.
Yeah, money's been super
brand new,
hyperinflated.
Brand new Pinto, a brand new Pinto, or brand new in 1970, a brand new Pinto, or brand new Volkswagen Beetle, $1,800.
Was that
brand new?
Was that the base salary or that's the highest salary?
No, you could get like I said, the Thunderbird 71 Thunderbird fully loaded 45. I had an AM radio with a cassette. Came with an AM radio and a cassette.
I'm talking about I know Will Chamberlain wasn't making no $30,000.
Will Chamberlain was making $100,000 there. Will Chamberlain was the first guy who got rich off the NBA.
Ah.
She left that door unlocked.
I did hear a noise. Maybe that's somebody who got
came
the
in.
key.
Could you just check see who that is? He came in the key and they ain't coming here. Then maybe he left the door. Maybe somebody walked in and left the door open.
All right, so Doug, I'm gonna do a little bit of wishful thinking right now. All right.
Yes.
All right. So couple of white men, all right, dominant society kind of guys, you know. They digging you.
I don't even know what you're talking about. This is going crazy.
They-
This already sounds crazy.
They digging you and everything. And they
What
said,
do you
you
mean
know
digging
what?
me? What kind of,
Yeah, they like you
LBG.
overall. You around. You been here. You been there. You know what it is to do a little bit of time. You know what it is to have your education up and everything else. You know.
Go ahead.
They value your gray hair. They know you got wisdom. They know you're not like a little young guy like me.
Who's that?
That's Doug.
No, I'm done.
I mean that's
Stu, give him a microphone.
that's Stu. Yeah,
Yeah, get on, Stu.
Doug and Stu
Yeah.
doing stuff. All right, cool. So now we do a little bit of wishful thinking. If you didn't know, if you didn't hear, we're just talking about it right now.
Okay.
So the powers that be, the white men, right? That's what the powers that be are, right? So they say,
I don't know. Rick likes when you say that, man. He doesn't like when you say that, man.
No, I'm going.
You notice I don't say that much. I still do my little snidely whip snake. But I don't use those buzzwords that he don't like.
I'm only playing with the atmosphere, but I know Rick is.
No, you want to keep it positive, man. He's right. Keep it
Yeah, I
positive.
mean, you know, I'm just messing.
You can still get in that Kool-Aid, but without doing all of that. Go ahead.
Well, as I was
You gotta
addressing-
identify them.
Maybe you should get in your own Kool-Aid.
As I was addressing you, Doug, I'm giving you your jargon.
Hey, Rick, can I tell you something? Do you know that in the big house, if you take grape Kool-Aid, you could dye your shirt with that? When I was in the big house, we would take, because you couldn't have no colors in there. The only color you had was gray. So we'd take and buy grape Kool-Aid and then take your T-shirts and dip them in the grape Kool-Aid, and then your shirts would be purple. And you could wash them and it wouldn't come out.
Okay, all right.
So
cool.
I'm just saying, don't drink no fucking grape Kool-Aid if it's good for you.
Purple dye number 12.
It's purple dye. Yeah. Oh, sorry, Stu. Him turn your microphone. Can you-
Okay.
Go ahead, Stu.
So
Yeah.
I'm
Purple dye number 12.
Yes, sir.
gonna hit Stu and Rick with the same question or the same imaginary thoughts. Okay, cool. So the powers that be
Imaginary thoughts.
who gave you the money, they said here's 17.1 trillion. This number's coming from the reparations and the bill
You
HR
starting
40.
that again? You starting that again?
It's
Go ahead.
never
Oh,
going
you
to end
starting
until
that
we get
again?
it.
Okay.
Until we get it, it's never
Okay,
going to
go ahead,
stop.
starting that again.
So
At least you ain't doing that other shit like last time. Going, we don't need the money. Now you like, okay.
Nah, I ain't never say we need the money.
Well, I thought you were saying.
Nah,
that. Go ahead,
okay.
go ahead. I'm interrupting you. I ain't
We're scared to do it. We don't know what to do with the money. I'm talking about that right now
We
today.
know how to spend it.
On weaves,
We know how to spend it, bro.
on hair weaves.
No. We know how to spend it. Don't
That's
think about
crazy.
that.
All right, cool. 17.1 trillion
Oh, and Rick,
reparations.
so you see where he coming from, Rick? He's coming from when he was mentioning all those numbers about we spend. He was saying that he was really coming from that we're foolish and frivolous with our money.
So now,
And I'm making the case that when you're poor, you're not foolish or frivolous. You're just poor.
without the R, right?
Well, you're unskilled. That's what I would say.
That too, Stu.
Unskilled,
All of that.
unskilled and unexperienced.
All of that.
With money.
With money, yes.
Yeah.
Well, that would say everybody, right? That would be everybody.
Not everybody. Some people have family histories where their families were in business. They got entrepreneurial history. I look at my wife's family. Her dad was in business. He was a street guy originally, and that's where he got his money. But then he also went into other legitimate business. But she grew up handling money and learning about money. I didn't.
What happened to you, Stu? Where you was at, Stu?
Well, you know, I
Playing video games? What you was doing? Did you have video games?
Hey,
Board
Gerard,
games?
get him,
You should
Gerard.
have been playing Monopoly.
The point is,
Monopoly.
the point is that I had drunk the grape Kool-Aid about career and about jobs and about the educational path.
40% of taxes
Yeah.
to Uncle Sam.
You
Huh?
did-
Well, I
bought into that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
Hey, Stu,
I hadn't even gone that far yet, Gerard.
Hey, Stu, you didn't dye your shirt, did you?
But the point, back to Doug's point about everybody not having those skills. No, some people do. I mean, you had Black Wall Street back in the 20s.
Oh, man.
You go back, to pre slavery times when we ran empires and civilizations back on the homeland. that were tremendous. So,
Hey, Gerard.
there's a history there.
You done
There's-
started them up now.
There's a history
all
there.
good. I like-
Hey, Gerard, you fucked up
I
now.
just
You
found out.
done
I
started
just
them
found
up,
out.
but he started that Egyptian shit.
There's a tremendous history there, but we've been reprogrammed. That history's been taken away from
Yeah.
us. And, we've had to struggle to regain that. And a small percentage, I wouldn't say none, that's what Doug said, but certainly a great proportion of us don't have that financial background, financial literacy.
I can't wait to get to
money
this question.
management.
I'm still on Doug. Okay, Doug. So we gave you 17.1 trillion, and we know you might help out the blacks, do your thing. What would you do for the blacks with that 17.1 trillion? That's the reparations money. They gave it all to one person who's going to distribute it to the rest of us. They gave it to Jesse Jackson or whoever they thought they could give it to. I don't know.
They're not doing that.
I'm just saying they
They're
gave
not doing
it.
that.
They gave it to one person to say,
They're not
"Hey,
gonna
you
do
can
that.
deal with it."
They're not going to. You know how we are. That ain't going to happen.
I mean,
If they even start mentioning that, there's going to be big trouble. They ain't anybody going
Oh,
for that.
man.
Now, anybody going for that, giving it all to one guy, and he going to give it to everybody. That's not going to happen. And if I was that guy, I would be saying, I'm
Yes,
not
sir.
going to be able to do that. If I was that guy,
I'm just trying to say you can't do nothing with that money.
I can do plenty with it, but
What-
I
what
want
would you
to.
do
I
for
want
our
to
people?
live. I want to live. I want to live.
Okay.
And I want to get to the next day.
Okay.
And there's no way that you're going to give me the money and then tell everybody I got it.
Okay.
I'm not. I won't be
Okay.
able to make it to the next
Okay,
day.
we going back 8 years, but they gave Barack Obama the money. First black president, everybody digging him, thinking he know what to do with the money, the way he talk and everything is all good. They gave him 17.1 trillion and said, "Hey Barack, this is reparations for your people."
That bitch, he wasn't going to give it back because he said we not. He came out right off the top saying he ain't doing reparations, man. We was watching that ass, man. He said he wasn't doing it. So I mean, if you're getting to the point of what happens if somebody says there's $17.1 billion in reparation, what would happen?
Trillion.
I would say what's going to happen is somebody like Stu type of guy is going to do the fucking math. That's the first thing
Okay,
that's going to happen.
so now we
They're
gonna-
doing the math and see how much everybody gets.
We're going to do Stu last.
You can do him. You might as well do him first because he's the one that's going to say what I just told you.
Now I want to ask Rick this.
Okay.
So Rick, imaginary thinking again, right? They gave the most positive man on radio,
Rick Young. Right.
Rick Young,
Right.
17.1.
And does he have to give it? Does he have to distribute it to the man so he can do whatever he want with it? What's the criteria?
Well,
What's the criteria? He can do whatever he want.
he could do whatever he wants,
Well, he's
but
dead.
But he
He's
has
dead.
to. Well, hold on. But it
dead.
has to be for our people. It can't just be he's just gonna get fresh on his own like a Jay-Z move or something like that.
Oh, okay.
It has to be he's doing something for our people.
Where he gonna live at?
He
No
might.
way. Yeah, like
how-
the moon. The moon probably.
How would this work, Rick? They gave you 17.1 trillion, and they said this is dedicated to you and your people.
That's easy for me. I would just pretty much do what I'm doing. I would put in educational pieces, classes,
He's a dead
workshops that
man. He's a
people that
dead
want
man.
to learn.
You're a dead man.
That's what I would do.
No, I think that's.
I think he's a dead man.
All my speakers and teachers, I bring them all in,
Yeah,
teach, learn, self-improvement.
Where you gonna live at? You living on the moon?
On the moon.
Man, people gonna be camped outside of the crib going, who the fuck do you think you are with all this other shit? Give me mines, man. I did all the slavery shit. Give me my fucking money, man. Give me my cut. I'll see your ass later, man. The fuck you talking about? You gonna hold my money and give it to Joe Flickety Flack or whoever.
So now.
That's what I think you're gonna get. I could be wrong.
Okay,
I'm taking
just
the
saying.
other side of the coin.
I know.
Yeah.
All right, I like that. I like that, Rick.
You might be right, but
People gonna be crazy. That's what I'm saying.
you
I
might be
mean,
right.
yeah.
But
But because you've decided what's going to be done with the money, I think unless you saying I'm going to do the math and just split the shit up, I think you're asking for trouble. That's what I think.
Well, this is 1989. Former
You ain't asked Stu
congressman.
yet. You ain't asked Stu
Now
yet.
we're gonna get the Stu. I know Stu got something real brilliant. I'm gonna give some time to get his thoughts together.
All right,
so
yeah, put him on the spot.
yeah.
We put you on the spot.
It says the Commission to Study and Develop Reparations Proposals for African Americans Act. That's the HR 40 bill. The bill was first introduced in 1989 by former Congressman John Conyers. Conyers reintroduced the bill
dead.
every year until
dead,
his
ain't he?
retirement.
Ain't he dead, too?
Until his retirement in 2017.
Yeah, he dead.
And each year, the bill languished in Congress. The bill focus was not to pass reparations, but to research the impact slavery had on Black Americans and develop proposals
Let's go to Stu.
for redress.
Let's go to Stu so we can chop his asses up.
Okay, so Stu.
Let's get into that. Let's chop his shit up. Let me turn your mic up, Rick.
Well,
Hold on, let me
Turn your mic up because he get ready to say some crazy shit. Man.
Okay, so
I don't have my calculator here.
Oh.
Okay. So I
got the Apple phone,
I
man.
can't give you a.
So would you use your calculator, Stu?
Can I answer the question?
All right.
okay, so Stu, we gave you 17.1
I
trillion.
heard the question.
Okay,
I can
You
turn
know,
his mic down. I can turn his mic
it's
down.
all good. Nah, I like it.
The first thing I would do is look at making at least half of that money given equally to every black family across this country. I don't know what that number would be. I'd like to look at that number and maybe more, maybe proportionately more than half. But in addition to dropping significant amount of money on all those families, I require that each of those families go through a financial literacy regimen, training piece, where they get some skills as to how to manage that money, how to sustain that money, how to invest that money so that they have it for more than one generation. And then I would also look at investing in land and institutions, but particularly communications institutions that were run and controlled by black folk. Media, I'm talking about media communication
Something
institutions.
like what we're doing now, yeah.
Yeah, but on a huge scale.
Yeah, of course.
And I would also tie into Africa and the homeland so that we had some cross connections, cross fertilizations, and some ways to sustain and maybe even some backup. Because we're going to need some backup with all those initiatives. You're going to need some fallback folks. So I would tie in folks in the homeland, and maybe some money would go there too in terms of building up some of these institutions, communications, media institutions that we collaborate with transatlantic. So that would be my first take. I'd also want to study a little bit. I would not want to take 3 minutes and come up with a plan for that kind of bread.
Yeah.
I would spend a little more time than what we have here on this radio show to think through that.
Yeah.
But that's my big picture thinking and first reaction.
All right, I would criticize that, by the way.
Well, one of the things, a lot of people, if you put a certain amount of money in their hand, they will literally hurt themselves.
Exactly.
That's a fact.
Exactly.
First of all, nobody made you the reparation policeman, okay? So fuck that. Nobody made you ain't that.
I am that right
I know
now.
you are that right now, but I would say that would get no traction. Number two, to go with Stu was saying, I don't see how that would work because when there is a honorarium, when it's time for an honorarium, him deciding that he's going to take some of it and do what he wants to do with it, I don't see how that flies.
But that's the premise.
No,
I mean, that's the premise.
Stu, I ain't knocking it.
You can say the premise it doesn't make any sense, but that's the premise.
You
say you decide, so you can't criticize the premise.
I just did.
Okay,
that might not make no sense. Now, I think that you might not agree with it.
I can't respond to the premise if you're saying the premise is null and void.
All I'm saying is that I'm
talking imaginary thinking.
No,
Yeah.
right. But I'm saying this. First of all, whether or not it's the premise or not, a portion of the money is going somewhere that somebody else is deciding. I'm saying you ain't getting past that. This is just me. You ain't getting past that part of it, even though it's I ain't even knocking it. I think it's a great idea. I don't think you get past that because when there's psychologically, when there's opportunity money, people are crazy. And people are going to start thinking that they deserve the money. And you may be right. There are maybe some people who are going to get hurt. But that's not the point. The point ain't for that. The point is if there's reparations, then there's reparations. I would do it just as simple. I'd take out my calculator and I'd do what Stu said from the beginning, but I wouldn't hold back nothing. I would take my calculator out, figure out how to give everybody with it, and give everybody the fucking money and watch what happens. Because some
mayhem,
people...
mayhem.
Well, first
guaranteed.
of all, you could first of all, dig this.
I think the economy might improve.
I think that's irresponsible.
I think
that's irresponsible.
Well, I think it's irresponsible to think that you know what's best for everyone.
No, I think folks need to explore what's best for them. I don't know. I don't have the answers.
That's why
they need to explore that.
That's why I'm saying you said it was going to be mayhem. And Rick said people are going to hurt it. I don't know if that's true. I don't know if that's true. But what I'm saying to you is that if it's reparations for things that have happened in the past for any of us, that's Stu, me, you, the man in the moon, to think that people are going to that people may have mayhem or people may hurt themselves or any of that thing. As Bobby Brown said, it's their prerogative. That's not why we're here. The reparations is to give to people for past deeds. What they do with it is their business. And whether you or me like it or not, it doesn't matter. That would be the case that I would make.
Okay, I would disagree with that because
No kidding.
because the premise that Jerome threw out there was that a person, in this case me, was granted the money. So
Correct.
ipso facto, I'm in control, and I think it's my responsibility, therefore, to make some decisions and make some calculations that I think will benefit the recipients of the money, however accurate or inaccurate. I think it would be just irresponsible for me just to willy-nilly give it out.
But that's not I don't think that's your decision to make, Sue.
It is. That's his premise.
No,
his
hold on, Doug.
his
Hold on,
premise
Doug.
is that it is my
Hold
decision.
on, Doug. Do you believe that given families who was affected from the slavery, right, descendants of American slaves, do you feel like it's irresponsible to just give the money to them? Or should we have a plan for our money?
I think it's irresponsible not to give them the money. It's irresponsible. It's irresponsible to think that we know that this hubris to think that we shouldn't give anybody this because they're going to do A, B, or C. That's not our decision. Even if that is your premise that okay, we're going to give the money to Stu or we're going to give it to Doug. Yeah. I mean, it could be me, Stu. Forget about him. Yeah. You forget about Stu. You give the money to me.
Yeah.
I'm sitting there saying, hey, well, I think we should do A, B, or C because it's going to be so and so. I wouldn't make that. I wouldn't make this because you can't back that up. So just like Rick and Stu, you can't back the position that they took up. You're not going to be able to go to somebody and say, look, I'm giving them the money because of A, B, or C, and you guys, it's going to be this problem. I don't think you can back it up. People are going to be equally as crazy. You think there's mayhem because they get the money. There's going to be mayhem because they don't get it for whatever the reasons. I think you have to give the people the money, and you have to, if you're going to do anything, why wouldn't you try to educate the people? Yeah. Before you decide, because when people get money, they're just going to spend it. Yeah. They're going to spend it.
That was part of my proposed plan.
They're going to, but if you said you're going to take half of it and decide to do something, I'm saying that ain't going to work because people are going to.
I said I wasn't sure of the proportion that I would set aside. I had to do the math.
I heard you.
But whatever, you just misrepresented.
No, I did. I'm not misrepresenting.
Whatever that proportion is, they would be required to do some thinking and some education about money before they receive it.
Is it reparations or not, Stu? I'm just asking the question. If it's reparations and it's money that people should be getting, that's what people are going to be screaming for. They're not going to.
They can scream.
Somebody
and they will.
They can scream. Jerron laid out a theoretical construct.
I understand, Stu, but we told Jerron that his construct is not going to work. Well, it's not going to work, Stu.
Well, then that's
it's not going to work. It's not going to even work for you.
That's a different concern.
That's all I'm saying.
Okay,
I'm saying it's not going to work.
So Stu, how much educated are you all on this topic, reparations?
I don't know. I can't answer that question.
There have been groups that have gotten reparations in the past.
Thank you.
Definitely
And someone had to oversee.
Exactly.
Someone oversee the giving out of the money, but that was it. There was no strings attached to the money. You had to be either you qualified to get the money or not. They gave $54 billion to the Jewish people. They didn't make we didn't hear anything about how they gave it out. I didn't hear nothing like that.
Got to do further research on that.
I'm just saying I didn't hear how they gave it out and who did what to who. I didn't hear any of that, man. Maybe we need to know that.
It appears that they seem to be managing their money well.
Right,
exactly.
I think
and they have quite a long cultural history of money management. The Jewish people do. I mean, I'm talking about multi-centuries.
Of course they do.
Going back hundreds, maybe even
of course
thousands.
they do.
Well, not of course. I mean that's a statement that they have that cultural history that we don't have. So you're not talking an apples and apples comparison.
That's exactly right. You're not. But here's what I do know is that when I know human psychology, and I understand that if people think that they're supposed to get X amount of money,
who said they're supposed to? Jerron didn't say that
We're having a conversation about reparations, Stu. So we could parse the words all we want, but we're talking about that the subject is, people are going to get reparations. Should they get the reparations straight out, or should they get the reparation with some sort of something going with it? That seems to be the gist of what we're talking about. So I'm just making the case that I'm not for that. I'm making the case that I'm for just giving the people the money. That's what I'm making that case.
We disagree.
Yeah,
we know that.
Well, this is facts right here. Activists have been calling for reparations for years, and in 2016, a UN panel declared that the U.S. owed Black Americans reparations because of slavery and its link to injustice today in America.
So
they come up with a number?
Yeah, 17.1.
Oh, okay. I thought you were making that number.
No, that was the actual number. It was supposed to be owed based on Jim Crow laws and everything else.
So I'm saying to y'all again, you wouldn't do the math and just give everybody their money. You would not do that. Who would? I mean, why wouldn't you do that?
I explained why I wouldn't.
I know you wouldn't, but I'm asking back.
Okay,
Rick. I'm asking Rick, would you still do that?
No.
I wouldn't
do it because no, I'm saying I would not just give people money because you got guys that as soon as they get that money, they run.
You're gonna get hurt, man.
They running.
You're gonna get hurt.
Well,
that may be a necessary sacrifice.
You're gonna get hurt, Stu.
That may be a necessary sacrifice.
You get hurt. Y'all gonna get both of you. Y'all getting hurt.
Okay. They running to the man. So
the idea is not to do the easy thing, not to do the safest thing.
That's your idea.
My idea would not be to do the safest thing, to do the easiest thing, to do the thing that protected me the most. My idea would be to do the thing that helped my people the most.
Exactly.
That's what would motivate me.
But still, you have to convince people that what you're doing is helping people.
Okay,
that's what I think the hard part is going to be. Trying to convince people that I got your best interest.
I'm not saying it won't be hard.
I'm saying you won't make it. I'm saying it won't happen no matter who's doing it.
Okay, so Jerron, we're gonna give you 17.1 trillion for your people. You're about in your late 30s. You have a daughter, so we know you know how to do it for your own, and that's what we're going based on that.
And you're going to do what?
I'm going to.
How you going to? We got reparations, and I'm supposed to get $1 million out of it. And you're going to tell me that I'm only going to get half of it or a portion of it, and I got to go take a class or something.
Well, I don't know if you're supposed to get $1 million or not.
I'm just making that number. I don't know what it is, but say you're supposed to get I'm supposed to get $100,000 of it. Let's just say that's what everybody's breakdown is.
Okay, so you want to go in there? Okay,
just for shits
all right,
and
let's do. Okay,
just for shits
more
and giggles.
imaginary thinking.
Yeah, more imaginary. And then so now all of a sudden you're going to say, I'm coming to you. I'm going, yo, let me get my 100. What you going to tell me?
See, now that's different. See, now you're doing it like that. That's
my point.
You're going to have to give people their money.
That's what I'm trying to point out. They will find out who you are.
If you're doing it like that,
people will find out who you are, where you are, and they will be insufferably unapologetic and stupid, Stu. Insufferably.
Wow.
And you'll be saying, I'm helping you out. I'm doing the right thing to be going.
Yeah.
I don't want to hear that.
If it's money that's assigned to certain people,
I don't want to hear that.
That's their money.
That's my point. You're going to have a hard time getting people to see that I'm doing something to help you.
Well, I just did some back of the envelope math.
So what's the numbers?
Divided. I'm not sure how many black folks there are in the U.S. I divided by 50 million. That's probably
a good number.
Overestimate.
That's a good number.
340,000. So.
So right.
So it's not a game changer.
No,
and it's not nearly as humongous a number as it sounds.
So you're gonna have to
first blush.
So you're gonna have to give it to him.
So I'm gonna have to reconsider my answer.
That's what I'm thinking. Now, if you go to give everybody $5 million,
so how much you
saying that?
But
then
17 trillion divided by 50 million.
But you know what people say? Stu, if it was
340,000.
Yeah,
that's how much we get everybody.
But see, you know what? It's a higher number. So let's say the number was 10 times that. Let's say everybody came up with $3 million. Right?
Yeah.
What you would have to do then is you'd have to go with the annuity plan and say, all right, everybody's eligible. You get this much this year, and in 5 years everybody get paid out, so that they would have an opportunity. Because you're right. You're not going to just dump a whole shitload of money on everybody at one time.
So I think he's agreeing with us, Rick.
That's right.
I think he disagreed with
No,
us.
I am agreeing.
At least with our premise.
I'm agreeing with the premise that if you are going to do that, you're going to have to do it in some sort of way that says, here's how you get it. But not say, I'm going to take a portion of it and you got to go do something to get it.
Okay.
But no, I totally
we have 30
guesstimated
how much
we have 37,144,100,000.
$500,000.
What's $500,000?
So it's $500,000.
Yeah.
500,000.
I don't know what's going on in this room here right now, but $340,000 would be a game changer for me.
No, it's a game.
Oh, yeah.
But
Yeah,
it's
but
not.
It's
What
not a
he's
game
talking
changer.
about. No, what
It
he's talking
ain't
about.
gonna do all the shit that I was talking
He-
about. Like all the stuff I was talking
He
about.
wasn't talking about, oh, I'm gonna give everybody $5 million and motherfuckers gonna be outside drinking wine out of somebody's butt, paying the boy. I mean, you thinking people just gonna think they buck wild rich and gonna go crazy?
And you're not building a communications empire that's going to rival anything on the planet or in this country with that kind of money either.
No.
So
$300,000, you ain't gonna, that.
You know
You'd
what?
be lucky if you'd be lucky if somebody don't help you spend all that shit up in a year.
yeah,
You get the wrong person, they'll help you spend that shit the wrong way.
So that's why I feel like individually that
Yeah,
should be
that-
X'd out.
what should be
What should be
extra?
X'd out?
Individually paying off people.
Yeah, you getting hurt.
Well,
You getting
I don't
hurt.
know.
You getting
It's
hurt.
not enough. It's
You
not,
getting
it's not a
hurt.
game. We just said it's not a game
You
changer.
getting hurt. No, because you got to do. But I think
It's a game changer for
I think
me.
what we're missing here. I think the argument we're
I
missing.
hear you, Rich.
I think no. I think the argument that we're missing here is that how emotionally what that money's for. I think that's what we do. I think I don't think we have any idea how emotionally why we're getting that money and what it all represents.
Exactly.
That's why I'm saying that I think that people are going to be stupid when it comes to that kind of shit because of what it means. And so people ain't going to be willing to sit around and go, well, this is for your own good. Nah, you can give it to me in installments. That's the only good I want. You're gonna, that might work. And I think Stu's right. I'll have to agree maybe with Stu Rick. The higher the number is, the more problems are going to happen. I still think you have to figure out how to give it to them. Maybe, like I said, maybe you give it out in 4 payments or 5 payments, but the only way you're going to shut people up is give it to them. Because then it's over. If you linger it out and draw it out, then I think
I
you're going
definitely agree
to. I
with
think
that.
you're going to have a whole lot of beef, Stu, because people are going to start bringing up why they getting it, how come you holding it, blah, blah. All the shit all that's coming out. People are going to be crazy. It's crazy money, and I don't think that's the part. I think that Jerron, your example doesn't factor into it. We're talking crazy money here. We're talking money for crazy shit that happened to us, and it may be more money than some people have, but there may be some people who've had that kind of money before.
Yeah.
If it's only that $307,000,
Yeah, but we said it might be 500,000.
well, that's we talking.
Yeah, because we have 37 million blacks
That's
in
nice.
America.
Yeah,
That's a nice.
that's a nice chunk of
That's a
change.
nice chunk of change, but you ain't gonna be able to buy a mansion.
No, you're not. You're not gonna be able unless you do some real
You
shrewd
can hand
stuff.
that. You can hand that over.
Yeah,
I think you can hand the 500 over to.
over to
I
who?
think to the people.
Yeah. No,
You
what
can hand that
what
over.
I'm saying is, to build multi-generational
What's
wealth.
your crazy number, Stu? That makes you crazy about giving it out. What's your crazy?
I would say over $2 or $3 million.
Okay.
Yeah.
How about you, Rick? What's your nutty number?
Well,
That's that you might think is a little too much for just to give people first blush with no training.
But I know.
That's a good question. I think.
I would say probably $1 million. I'd probably
think one?
But we
back
have
that down one.
17.1 trillion. They already agreeing on that's what owe for us.
Rick, what would you think is the number that you would have to consider that just giving it that's too much money to give one person that they may have to get some training like you talked about. What would be your number? Stu said 1 for him.
I would go down to $300,000. Some people
So
can't handle that.
Okay.
Yeah.
How about you, Jerome?
See,
it's hard, ain't it?
It's hard
really
for me
hard,
because
yeah.
of my age right now. So I'm sitting at the
Well, that's
table.
why it means something. Your age means something.
Yeah, so I'm sitting at a table with a couple of guys. So I feel
What's the number, Jerome?
I don't have a number.
So you don't have a number?
No.
Okay. So you might be reluctant no matter what the number is. Mm-hmm. Okay.
So my mother,
My number would be $5 million.
so my mother went to
Over
Atlantic.
$5 million. People got to be talked
My
to.
mother went to Atlantic City, and she won a Jeep, a $25,000 Jeep.
Nice.
So she sold the Jeep back to
them. And got
She
the
got
money
17
minus the tax.
Yeah, 17.5, right?
Yeah.
So I had an aunt that had like about 18 children. So one of her husbands, I had heard the name over the years. So you hear the name through the family. People talking about it. My mother got that money. I never heard of this guy. This guy literally called the house to get some money try to get some money. So I never talked to this guy before in my life. I heard his name.
Wow.
Now,
Over the years.
Let me just let's say one quick little
That's
story
all happened.
back to Doug's point about how much.
Wow.
Doug and I both know a guy Sophisticated guy, educated guy,
Not fair,
graduate degrees,
Not fair.
that got a windfall of about $2 million. And it didn't take him less than maybe 5 to 7 years.
Wow.
I won't say he blew it because he made some smart choices, or so it
Okay.
seemed, but it's gone.
Wow.
There's no residual impact of the money, nothing.
Goodwill impact. Probably a lot of goodwill impact.
Oh man,
Yeah.
no financial.
But financial impact, minimal.
Oh man,
But
So
we-
I'm just saying, I've seen $2 million go into brothers' hands and
Damn,
go
man.
in just a few years.
we gotta fix this.
That's
I
great,
mean,
man. That's
and this
good.
is a smart
This
guy.
is crazy.
Wow.
bro.
This is a smart, quote unquote, educated guy,
Oh, shit.
sophisticated guy. So
And you will be getting those phone calls. Right?
I don't think he should have brought that up because then he should have told him how we literally stalked the guy to get.
oh yeah, we helped. We helped.
And that's what's going to happen.
That's what you're exactly.
That's
There
what's
you
going to happen to
go.
everybody.
That's right.
Man.
People are going to get stalked because for the money.
Damn.
That's
Well-
why. I mean,
They won't be able to find me.
Well, you know what? Here's the thing. Maybe if you took a combination of what everybody's saying, maybe if there was some annuity, I'm gonna use that for
That's a good.
for lack of a better term.
That's a good framework, Doug. I like
There
that.
was some annuity that was a annuity only for the people who got reparations. So that you could decide instead of getting all of the money, you could do, let's say, Stu's goofy idea that I don't like. Let's say you do Stu's goofy idea, and you take half your reparations money but go into an annuity.
Okay.
And you get half the money, and the other half will go into an annuity, and they would pay you out, like any annuity. I think
Over 10 years. or
over
20
10
years.
over 10 years, I think people would suck that up. I think if you did it like that, they sucked it up because everybody putting their money together all at one time, you would get a huge benefit because that would be a ginormous annuity. It would be ginormous. Everybody did it like you said at one time. If you said, okay, we're going to put 10 trillion into an annuity, that if you take 10 trillion dollars, you're going to get 10% on that. You're going to get 10% easy if you got that kind of cash moving into whoever you
Well, now
got.
you just laid out a whole nother scenario
I
there,
know
Doug.
that. I know that.
That's good.
But unfortunately, guys, I got to go. I don't have time to explore that because that's another hour discussion right there what Doug just dropped on us.
Yeah.
true.
Yeah, put the big number to work.
I like that one.
Correct.
Yeah, put the big number to work.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then people go, oh, I'm
Yeah,
doing
yeah,
that, and I'm gonna get a check every year,
Yeah.
and a big one.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that.
that's how we do
That's the best thing I heard tonight.
Yeah.
But we might as well wrap it up too because it is
7 o'clock.
7 o'clock.
Yeah. On the
7
69.
o'clock. Yeah,
All right.
and we've been at this all day like usual. So, all right. So, okay. So let's. So we got this. So next week we're going to have the YouTube player on the 959.ghcl.nyc website, which is the radio player's website. So that'll be on there, and we'll just direct people. They want to get the live feed. We'll direct them to that, and then that way we can go live whenever we want to, and boom. There's only a few requirements of YouTube, so. And this is working, and then boom. I just put the other cameras in so that we could jiggly jaggly the things, and so this way we'll have that, and then next week we'll start boom, and then I'll find out if this goofy thing is actually working right. Okay.
Sounds like a plan.
That's a good
So
copy.
that's it. That's it. We out for Sunday, y'all. Now, hey, we did. I'm gonna tell you this. Let me just.
On the third night, I called you on the phone, and someone